The Riot MMO is definitely not going to have Horde versus Alliance like, for example, World of Warcraft. I think, and I'm saying this because they've talked and mentioned things before about World of Warcraft MMO. Ghostcrawler has talked about this, and other people that work at Riot have talked about this, in the sense that you can't split the player base down a level where effectively the player base is divided in how they can and can't play with each other. I think you're going to get the option of picking Demacia, Shurima, Ionia, Noxus, and the Freljord. 5 major factions. And you get a PvE and a PvP track per season of earning rewards towards that faction. When you go into PvP or PvE content, everybody gets to play together. I'm sure like when you pick Noxus, it'll have like a drop down. So you pick like Noxus and you'd be like, a Piltover, Zon, a Demacian, Freljordian, Ionian, then you pick like, you get options for each faction or race of like what class, what race you want to be. And that's mostly cosmetic. And then regardless of what you pick the faction you fight for. So you can be a Shuriman player, you can be a Noxian, Demacian, you pick your own tree for the season of what you want to work towards for your battle pass or your season pass for that season. And like in regards to PvP, PvE guilds, you could be a Noxian in a Demacian guild with your healer being a Shuriman, and it means nothing. All of that is going to be cosmetic choices more than anything else. And in my opinion, I think that's how they're going to do the Riot MMO. Because any other methodology of like, oh my god, I pick Noxus, I can't play with Demacia, Shurima. Like WoW's biggest issue, they've said this in World of Warcraft as well, that the faction balance, like the faction division worked for its time. It does not work in the modern day and age. Having combined cross-faction guilds is the modern equivalent, because dividing a player base always makes people feel like they might have picked the wrong faction, the wrong players, the wrong race, the wrong class. So in a modern game, in no universe do they make it so if you pick Noxus here, you can't play with the Demacian or Freljordian or Shuriman or Ionian. It's all going to be 100% cosmetic. I would bet money on that if you pick a Shadow Isles guy, you could pick any race, any faction, I mean. If you pick Piltover or Zon, any faction. Your race or your origin location does not determine the faction you take your PvP track or your PvE track for. Like a Noxian probably at like max level, like season 1 max level gets like, for example, a High Warlord Grand Marshal Noxian set. Same thing with Shuriman. Same thing with Yorul. Same thing with the Marcians. The race you pick gives you your race's version of like the end game cosmetic unlock. So if you pick a Noxian, you unlock the Noxian cosmetic. But they might not even like race like lock that. They might just be like you could be a Demacian, but the Noxian tier looks good for you this season. You pick Noxian track for the season. Maybe if you're super sweaty, you can do 2 or 3 tracks in a season. But like I 100% bet money that they are in zero universe, zero like reality is going to separate who the player base can play together with.